The crooked anchor and the Cabbage incident. It was a slow, overcast sort of afternoon at the Crooked Anchor, the kind where time moved like treacle and the pints poured themselves, if only out of boredom. A few months had passed since the great beast hunt, and life had returned to its usual lopsided rhythm. David was reorganizing beer mats by colour saturation. Brian was reading the nutritional information off a box of crackers like it was a secret government document. Gunther, the Great Dane, was asleep with his head on a bar stool, snoring like a sink with plumbing issues. And then there was Pete, wandering. For the first time in recorded pub history, Pete was not in his usual seat. He was, in fact, trying other seats. "Doesn't feel right," he muttered, shifting from one booth to another. "This one's haunted by someone's cheese toasty. That one's too echoey. That one smells like lemons and betrayal." David watched from the bar like a worried mother hen. "You all right there, Pete?" "Seat's wrong," Pete replied gravely, as though he were Hamlet and the stool was Denmark. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Clifford was humming a medieval chant and boiling a full cabbage in what could only be described as a chromatic stew. The liquid in the pot shimmered with colours the human eye was never meant to process. He muttered phrases like, "just a hint of moonlight and needs more spite." Warren cautiously peeked into the pot, went pale, and backed away. "Is that glowing?" "It's reactive," Clifford whispered, with the glee of a man who's just invented edible lightning. In the cellar, Uncle Raymond had declared it was Personal Laundry Day, which evidently involved putting all his clothes into the dishwasher, proclaiming, "A man's got to evolve." He then vanished under a large cardboard box marked Private Sauna and began reciting limericks to a spoon. Back in the kitchen, the pot began to rumble. "Clifford," Warren said, "I think the cabbage is—" "Born!" Clifford cried as the cabbage exploded from the cauldron like a greasy green meteor, blasting clean through the kitchen vent and straight through the pub roof. A sharp "foom" was followed by silence. Dust settled. Everyone blinked. Brian, without looking up, muttered, "That'll ruin the resale value." David gazed up at the new skylight. Well, more ventilation, I suppose. Pete had at long last returned to his original seat. He sat down, exhaled deeply, and without a hint of irony said, "Perfect, Pete." The room nodded in quiet approval. Outside, the scorched cabbage landed somewhere in the next county and was later mistaken for a UFO. Inside, the pub resumed its standard formation. Pete at peace, Brian rustling his crackers, Gunther snoring louder than common sense, and David already eyeing the phone to call a roofer who wouldn't ask questions. Just another day at the Crooked Anchor. Where vegetables break the laws of physics, nudity is experimental, and sometimes the perfect seat was the one you never should have left.